Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the SDFC Fancast. Yep, no producer Trevor again. And normally we would insert a soundbite there and he will be back, I promise you that. And he's a very integral part of our little podcast here. But a couple weeks in a row, I tell you, the absence is noticeable, Cotton.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I mean, Colonial, thank you for hosting, but the soundboard literally felt like it's like a security blanket for you. I think you'll notice that, like, once there's some pauses or something that you don't want there, Trev has always been there to just boo, boo, boo. Like, dude, seriously, yeah, very important part in my opinion.
Oh, he's a professional. He's a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
heck
those of
yeah.
you in the that comment on the YouTube, please comment more or less soundboard because I know what the answer is going to be. Amor, amor,
More. Keep them coming, baby.
amore.
Hell yeah, we'll get back on those sounds. But speaking of sad sounds, is what we kind of heard this past weekend. Colorado, we played the Rapids. I was there. Well, I'll talk about my perspective. We lost 3-2. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a weird game, but yeah, as I said, I was there. But just from your guys' perspective on the TV, Nate, maybe we'll start with you. Like, how did we look, and how was just the vibe overall?
Still, I'll start with the positives first. CJ Dos Santos for me, man of the match, had insane saves. Like the fact that we got him, our scouting department is wonderful, top notch, clearly. Because holy crap, his saves, some of his reaction saves, even when he was in a bad position, like not by his fault, but getting himself back into a good position. But the reason that he did have to save a lot is because they peppered us a lot. We did not dominate as much as we usually do, especially on the attacking side. So that didn't feel as good. But no, CJ, man of the match for me. Other positive, Luca De La Torre's goal. It was placed so beautifully that I could have sworn that it went off a defender's foot, which Christopher knew right away. It did not. It was placed amazingly. The curl, and then the other positive, supporters going out there, Colonial as always. I mean, we can always hear you guys and always see you guys every single time the announcers bring it up. Actually, I was on TikTok and there was this British guy and he was sitting in the supporter section for Colorado and he was clowning how lame soccer games are in the United States. And it was like, thank you, Colorado Rapids supporters section, for making us look bad for this big TikTok star who now clowned American soccer. And now, if he would have come to the San Diego F.C. home game, would have been a different story.
Well,
But
that's on him for fucking going to Colorado. Why wouldn't you go
I
to one of the big cities?
I did comment you should have gone to San Diego. You should have gone to San Diego
Seattle,
for an
that's a big
SDFC
market,
game.
something.
And then the last positive I will say is Tomas Angel. When he got subbed in, he played like a man possessed. He played like he was fighting for that number one spot, and I really, really loved it. He was amazing. He would be my second for man of the match, but CJ took it. And then obviously negatively, we lost. It's good that we still score. We're still attacking, even when we're down. We're always attacking, but we really did look a little bit tired. We looked a little bit off. Going for the second ball looked a little more arduous than it usually does. We can blame the elevation, all that stuff. I think about Star Wars. Anytime anything happens in Star Wars that doesn't make sense, it's like, yeah, it's the Force. And when we lose Colorado, it's like, it's the elevation,
True.
you know.
Good point.
So that's just kind of my take because we did look tired. We looked sloppy, sloppier than we have. We looked more tired than we have, not as crisp or anything like
Yeah.
that. This was definitely the worst game, I feel like, which is weird to say because we still scored 2 goals and we're still in it. So again, it's hard for me to say anything negative about this team ever. So I'm still on cloud nine, still honeymoon phase.
Heck yeah, Chris.
Yeah, Nate, you took the words right out of my mouth. It was very sloppy, very, very sloppy. But I will say that penalty uh, was not a penalty IMO. And also, I've said nothing but good things about Apple TV and their coverage with MLS and the production value and all that stuff. But I think we got two, maybe three replays. We didn't get one slow-mo. It was hard, even as a fan, to get like a definitive look. But just off those few replays that we got, it did not look like a penalty to me. It looked like he was just diving for the ball and CJ got kicked in the face. I don't know. And then uh I feel like that was kind of like the turning point in the match. That was sort of when like the momentum really shifted on us. We looked sloppy prior to, but we kind of just got sloppier after that. That being said, we still dominated possession, which is great. Always fun to have the ball more, but Colorado, it reminded me of when the US in the World Cup, I think it was the last World Cup, Nathan and Colin, when we got out of the group stages, the knockout round, and I think we were playing the Netherlands. Um, and the US dominated possession, but the Netherlands clearly were the much better counterattacking team, and that was their game plan the whole way. And the Netherlands just picked the US apart. That's pretty much what happened here against Colorado. So a little discouraging. It was the worst we've looked by far all season, but these matches are going to happen. I do like the fight. Like you said, Nate, we were still in the match. We still were watching until the very last second to see if we could scoop
Yeah.
up a draw. Um, and I will say Luca's goal was awesome, but he had a really bad game. He had a lot of heavy touches. Um, and I want to say a few of them probably, or one of them probably led to us conceding. So, anyways, we'll bounce back. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, tough game, tough game.
Yeah.
No, but
But Colin was there.
yeah.
Well, heck yeah. Yeah. Well, and it seemed like Colorado played pretty good. Like they beat us, right? Like we didn't, like, we could have beat another team that was crappier and that wasn't playing
Yeah.
good on another day. Which is encouraging because on our off day at elevation, we still scored 2 goals, and I do think it was a factor. There were some sick plays, like some kind of tiki-taka stuff, some like intricate passes from the Rapids. So like they actually played quite well, I thought. But it's in terms of the atmosphere, oh boy, it was awesome. I'm still a little bit of raspy. Yeah, it was a cool day. I got there Friday, a little bit prior, and then Saturday morning I went fishing for a little bit in Colorado. It's stinking beautiful there. I freaking love it. Can't wait to go back. And then we met up with some of the Riptides in the hotel at about 4:30. We went over to the stadium at Colorado, which is free parking for anybody, and you can actually leave your
Hmm.
car over there overnight. So like if you get hammered, you can just sleep in your car
That's
and be fine. And
smart.
it's a very nice marketing tool. The stadium was really like kind of a cool little small stadium with some houses nearby. So we went down there. There was like the Chavos, the Bar 18, the whole guy, everybody, Dago boys, they were doing their thing already, and we rolled up. It was like I think it was like 5 Riptides, four to six, like with somebody who came in town. Yeah, we were all just hanging out, and then we ended up getting in the game, and just we didn't stop chanting the whole freaking time. And like the supporters group, I can't stress like how fun it is and the energy that they're bringing and like the community that they're creating. It is incredibly awesome. And you guys touched on everything on the game. So just basically from my perspective, I just can't get enough of our supporters and our supporter group, man. So like the Frontera are killing it. And it was that's basically my perspective. It was just a good time chanting. I'm glad you guys were able to hear us, and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
When you know that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he points at the camera from
Yeah.
or he points at the TV from was that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah.
When Lucas scored the goal, that I pictured Trevor doing that because he immediately was like, "There's Colin." I did not
Dude,
see you at all, but Trevor right away.
the energy, like I can't, like I told my wife, I was like, I'm like, I'm crazy in that environment. Like I'm not even like I had like one Topo like hard seltzer Topo Chico, and like so I didn't wasn't even drunk, but it's just like I was drunk on the vibes and the energy, and like
Mm.
it's hard not to like get fired up when you're with that passion.
It is infectious. That is true. One thing in the
Eh,
supporters section, and that is another thing is even when I don't party hard, it's hard for me to remember a game completely because I'm just the energy is so high and it's so intense and everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, again, shout out to everybody that traveled. I think there was 116, I believe, was the final number that made it, which is pretty impressive.
Nice
There won't
job.
be that many in Charlotte next week, that's
I'm
for sure.
curious.
There will be three, maybe. There's not
Charlotte's a
going to be a
long
big
way.
force. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not going to be a big force, unfortunately.
It takes time though. Like, we'll start gaining supporters who don't live here. You know what I mean? Like, like for example, the Padres when they're on the road now. This never used to be the case, but now when they're on the road, like we played in Sacramento against the A's last week, and it seemed like there was 30-40% Padre fans there. So, as the team grows and does well, we'll gain that supporting acumen outside of San Diego.
Yeah, all the transplants from Southern California that move to Charlotte that don't want to support a LA team. San Diego F.C. Maybe we'll
Hell
see
yeah.
some jerseys in the stands.
Yeah, it's funny enough you bring it up. This scarf back here, the Riptides one, wherever it is, that really dope Riptides one that I'm thankful it made it back. Me and a few of the guys were walking around with those, and a guy who was like, "Hey, well, what is your scarves?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the Riptides." He's from San Diego, lives in Colorado. He had a Rapids kit on, but him and his wife were there with the kids, and he was like, "I know." He's like, "I almost wore my San Diego one, dude." He was just like funny kind of
Bro,
surfer bro guy. He kind of like talked
you
our ear
even
off for about
talk like
five
a
ten
San
minutes.
Diego fan.
I know, dude. He was like, "Oh, I love San Diego." I was like, "Oh, I was gonna wear that one, but I wore the Rapids." But so I think, and same when I went to Salt Lake City, like I got there a little bit early, and there was a gal who had a San Diego scarf, and I was like, "Oh, that must be one of the supporters." No, she lived in Utah. Like, so I think like there's more and more of those transplants, and then there's just more and more of the casual fans as well that are just gonna jump on the bandwagon. Quite frankly, I bet
Dude,
Heck
that
yeah.
scarf is so gnar. Fucking
it's fire,
swells.
bro.
The swells out fucking west, dude, when I used to live there were fucking gnar.
Sick.
You get so pitted. It's fucking
Damn,
crazy.
do you know the guy? Yeah, that sounds just like him.
Speaking of San Diego, what's up with them pods, dude?
Dude, Chargers still there?
Yeah, Keegan's not here at the local pottery hour. We're killing it, but yeah, on that
Yeah. I'm pretty
sense.
sure
Hey,
Keegan is
just
just
follow our Twitter. It's like the
It's
Padres
like all
Twitter. Like
Padre.
you could just
I
follow the Fancast Twitter.
I
You'll
think
get all the Padres news you need.
he wanted to do this podcast just so that he could get more Padres notoriety. That's all he cares
I
about.
love it. I love it.
Hey,
That's all
it's San
right.
Diego, dude. Honestly, like we have 8 supporters groups. It's like just San Diego is just one big ethos right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all if everybody's happy and everybody's winning, and even when we lose, if we're all winning, who
Well,
cares?
and I notice in a bunch of pictures, like whenever they're interviewing Machado and stuff like that, half the time he has some sort of SDFC something on, which is really cool to see.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he
that's yeah,
quick
okay, go on,
quick
Chris.
quick Manny story. After he was at the game a couple weeks ago, they were interviewing him like live during the game. Like he had his it was a national broadcast, so it was ESPN. So for those games, they actually mic them up while they're fielding in the outfield. And the announcers asked like, "So how was the Padre or the how was the soccer game the other night?" And he just had like nothing but good things to say about it. It was awesome. So
Oh,
getting
cool.
national attention.
I think
Nice.
I think we're building something unique with an expansion team that could possibly win a title and the community. And the last thing I'll say about that, it was a little funny. I'll tell another story off the air about that. But it was when we were chanting the whole time, I'd look over at the supporters of the Rapids and they were like videotaping us and they were like laughing at like the marijuana, like those chant, like they were like enthralled with like our just vibe. And like there were some little kids that came over to us and were talking shit. They were like, and I respected. I was looking at them. I was like, "You little pukes," but like it was rad
Pukes.
though. Like,
Nice.
and we were down. Like they were beating us, so it was just like. But I just noticed like we're like when we go away, people are like checking us out, and we're really bringing something.
They should. I honestly, it is a different vibe because LAFC brought a crappy vibe, supporters, fans. St. Louis brought a great vibe, but very friendly, maybe not as loud as SDFC. And SDFC brings that friendly and loud vibe. We bring it all. Those are just the kind of the expansion teams I think of just because we all started out really well. I think those two beat us in regards to they went undefeated longer than we did in their first X amount of games, but in regards to how many points we've attained and all that stuff, we're all in the running of those three. Um, so yeah, that's why I kind of put those three in the same sphere together.
Makes sense.
Well, no, it's curious too. It's like it is like when LA comes to town or we go away, it's different than us going to Colorado or us going to, some of these little even Seattle or Portland, right? It's not the same. Like, let's
Uh,
be real, it's not the same, and those are a little bit chiller vibes,
And
and it
Chris and
was
I will be
yeah.
at the Portland game. Whenever we play Timbers in Portland, we're going because my little brother lives close.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going.
Okay. That might be dang, there's gonna be a big contingency for the fan cast at the in Portland. Ooh, we'll do it. Voodoo.
And supporters. There was multiple
Yeah.
people talking about that game, so that's going to be a lot of
That
people.
okay, we might make that an extended
A
weekend. You
trip,
know
like
what
a
I mean?
4 day
Yeah.
little blah,
Yeah.
play some golf and stuff.
Yeah. That wouldn't be bad.
Go some fishing, golfing, little
I want to go see
podcasting.
the Goonies rock, you know?
Hey, I was just gonna say that. God damn it.
Damn. Wavelength.
Uh,
Wavelength. Well, hell yeah,
I
fellas. You
would
guys
be
got
the
anything else?
I would for sure be the sloth of the group. That is 100%.
Isn't that Keegan kind of?
Dude, and you know what?
He would be
Even
chunk.
though I might be small, I would definitely be chunk. I would be like, I smell ice cream.
Keegan
Like,
would
Yeah,
be
we'll go.
the Asian kid with the little contraption.
yeah, right, dude. Keegan is the bad grandma.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
We'll go. We'll make sure we'll check that out, and we'll let you guys know how that ends up.
oh
But
yeah,
anything else you'd like to add about the game or anything?
still
No,
love the team.
yep, still love the team. Let's just bounce back. We bounced back really well when we lost to Austin.
Yep.
Let's bounce back in Charlotte. Let's prove that we can go all the way across the country and win on the road after a tough loss. I think that'll be a huge indicator of where we're at as a team. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention really quick was we need a forward. I know some people may think false nine, whatever, but I don't know. Let's go out and get Thomas Miller because we need a forward.
I like that, but I'm curious because, like Nate said, on hell played his ass off. If Milan can kind of get into form and then just hold down the fort till Invarsson gets back, then we have three guys that are maybe pretty solid. But it wouldn't hurt to get a big striker signing as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, well, hell yeah, I appreciate everybody for listening. Chris, I don't believe you made a run in some time. How about you take one? Oh, I love it. Look at his little. Yeah, there goes. Oh,
Yes.
he's always doing the swan dive.
Bum, bum.